Hey everyone, welcome back to Strong on the Inside and Out. And I'm Sherry, of course, with a girl and her dog, and got the brown dog here next to me. He missed me today. It is our fake Friday, so that's always a great thing. Do love those summer work weeks where we get Fridays off. So it's Thursday and it's hot here in Houston. Hot, hot. I was just talking to a person up in the north, up in Iowa, and I couldn't even describe the feeling that we feel down here in the tropical area of Houston. But nonetheless, it's summer, and that's what we endure because the winters make it all that much better. So thinking about what I wanted to talk with you all today, I had a couple of ideas, and then I had an experience that happened to me today at work. So over the past couple weeks, we're kind of in that process in my day job where we're wrapping up one school year and we're starting to develop and plan for the next school year. We're receiving resignations and we're hiring new staff. Everything that typically takes place during a calendar year and end of a calendar year, I guess, we do a little bit different in education. It's on our everything's works on a school year. So that's just kind of how we think. But, it's that time when I start reflecting on things as any good leader would do and think about what went well and what needs to be adjusted, what needs to be changed altogether, and what needs to completely be stopped. I mean, there's so many pieces that go into an organization. And as the leader, it's really important that I step back and number one, of course, I always take the responsibility of everybody. And then number two, think about how I can take what I have on the inside, the knowledge, the spirit, the passion, the endurance, I guess, the perseverance, all of those characteristics that make me strong on the inside, and share them out in a way that my staff starts learning how to endure when times are hard. So everybody has talked about, and you've seen it on the news, how education is so challenging right now. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details about current events, but we've heard all school year how teachers are making these mass exodus out the building. And the struggle is real. Let me just tell you. But I think it's happening in a lot of professions. So I think what I'm about to share today really can translate into any kind of leadership role. So today, moving on with the story, I did have an opportunity to catch up with someone that doesn't work necessarily with me directly every single day. So it's somebody that takes care of issues on my campus when they arrive, such as maintenance, custodial kinds of things. And this is that time again where we just start reflecting on everything and trying to make sure our buildings are clean and make sure they look good for the upcoming start of the year. And, if anything needs to be repaired or enhanced, we start working through that process. So when he showed up in my office today, I thought, oh, he's here for just whatever, kind of things we're taking care of. And as our conversation started going along, he made a comment how if he were to go back into a classroom, he definitely would want to work for me. And I just thought, wow, that's one of those compliments that doesn't come out and say, you're awesome, but it makes you know that maybe the work you've done has given you that reputation. And so I was thinking about perception and reputation today. So as I think about perception, it's, we put a lot of our feelings into it. And sometimes we can perceive something within a minute and make a decision, right? So I was in a meeting a couple days ago with people, and clearly you could tell they were stressed, and somebody snapped at somebody else. And I just thought, ooh, not sure that's how you really necessarily want to talk to that person, nor did I feel like they were doing it intentionally? And I think it was just the stress was building and bubbling, and it kind of got to that point. So the perception at that moment from the receiver of that message, I'm sure was, well, gosh, I probably really ticked this person off. And I know it wasn't like that. Now, what transpired after, if they had a conversation, I don't know. I wasn't privy to that information. However, it just always makes us try to remember, especially as the leader, take that breath before you respond, because people are going to tick us off all the time. People are going to rub us wrong. We see what the world is doing right now. You can't scroll through social media and not see something that on the inside, your gut's like, oh, how dare they say something like that? And I'm sure it's better words, more choice words, but it's one of those things like, I want to respond back right now. And I have my phone out, and then I'm like, oh, wait, calm yourself down, take a breath. And I think it's kind of the same thing when we're having conversations. But if that kind of scenario continues to happen, then you start to get to that point where you're building your reputation. And that's not necessarily through just a feeling, through a moment. It's over time, and it has to do with valid data. My experiences over time with this specific person tells me that her reputation is not that she's going to bite somebody's head off. My experience with this person over time is not that she would necessarily snap in a moment back to somebody. Typically, she is stopping, breathing before she responds. Or if it is something that she's not ready to respond to, it becomes more of a, I'm going to have to get back to you on that, which is a skill we all develop. However, that reputation, again, takes time. But then does that perception for that one moment, that one experience, can it totally ruin your reputation? I think that that's something that's very challenging. And I don't know, it's just something to really think about, because as a leader, we are on camera. We are on 24/7, right? We can't go anywhere around anybody, especially people who know what position we have, and be able to act a fool like that, or start to have those very few instances where we make rash decisions or say something out of feeling that maybe affects what our reputation is down the line. So as I spoke to this gentleman a little bit more, I was like, well, you kind of just made my day. I said, but tell me why, because I know I'm very structured. I know that I can be a little bit hard because I do have very high expectations of myself. But tell me what makes you feel like I would be the principal that you would want to work for. And his response was, well, yes, you are very direct, but for some people, that's always a good thing, because you're clear, and clear is kind. And I thought, okay, that makes sense. And he said, and I've heard you speak with your staff before. And I've never, ever, ever heard you, even in the moments that I can tell you're a little bit heated, talk to anybody with disrespect. And I thought, okay, check. That's a goal of mine always. And he said, and all times that I've ever had experiences with you, you're very supportive. Now, I am not one to toot my own horn. I promise you. And y'all, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to come in flying under the radar most of the time. I am going to walk in a room and I'm going to look confident and I'm going to play the part. And I do know my stuff, but I'm not going to brag and I'm not going to toot my own horn. And so to hear somebody that is pretty stable and successful, it felt good. So it was a positive experience today. And those don't always come, especially to the person in charge, because it's pretty lonely. And most of the time, all we receive are people's problems and complaints. So I want to say thank you. You're out there. Don't know if you're seeing this episode, but thank you for making my day today. And thank you to all the leaders out there in the world that really take that moment to think about what they want to say before they say it in a clear and direct way, and always find that way to, even when giving constructive feedback, being able to be supportive to the person that you are working with. If you're not one of those leaders and you aspire to be, of course, those are some tips for today. And even if it's just you're a leader within your own informal circle or within your own family, I think a lot of things that I do as a campus principal really does mirror what I've done as a mom. So parents, if you're out there listening to this, might be something to think about as well. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. I probably won't be back through the weekend. So the next episode will probably be at the start of next week. But as always, you can find me on Instagram at A Girl and Her Dog 19, or on Facebook, and the page is A Girl and Her Dog. And please feel free to share this episode or my channel with anyone that you think might need it. Some days I ramble, my little ADHD brain gets to me, but I always hope that I can give some kind of wisdom and little tidbits of information that can help you lead your best life and be strong on the inside and out. And so until then, this is Sherry saying see you, and say bye-bye, Okie. Say bye-bye. And Oakley, and we will see you soon. Have a great weekend.